Hi. So, I was inspired today by my friend Alana. I know her as Alana Who Loves You in Progress. Now she's embraced her parent-given name of Alana Nathal, not sure how you say it, Miller. And this goddess is so near and dear to my heart and so precious that we had an incredible conversation that sparked the remembrance of all that we know within us. And as that feeling tends to do, it inspired us to talk about something that we were both doing without knowing it, which is starting our own life school in our own schedule, in our own way, studying the topics that we want. And my partner Eric and I did this years ago, and it's been about 3 years now, so it makes sense that we're working on our master's degree with it this go. So we're creating our own classes, objectives, studies. We're creating our own program as someone who is getting their master's thesis is. And so, on a personal note, in order to rise to this challenge appropriately, I wanted to put on different clothes and put myself in a particular light and really care how the external is witnessed. But for the sake of transparency and starting where I am now and not having to change or fix anything in order to learn and grow, i.e. in this instance, heal, I'm starting right where I am, which is from bed. I did shower today. And I am currently drinking chaga, turmeric, black pepper, and ginger tea because it is healing to my physical body, and I'm showing up for this life assignment because it is healing to my spirit and soul. Those are two different things, but one and the same. So I got inspired to write a bunch of topics, and I could feel the energy of all that is flowing through me as I continue to list these topics. And then even inside of that was like, I'm postponing this. I'm creating a plan to tackle. And so instead, I just decided to do my first video chat, raw, uncut, authentically. Here I am in this now moment, showing up for my first assignment with my first question. So my first question is, what is disease or illness? And everything is both. So I'm also asking, what is health and wellness? And I'm feeling intuitive that I will get to that. So what is disease? Disease is literally a lack or unlike ease. So illness would be a physical manifestation of something that is unlike wellness or health. So it can manifest in our body, meaning brought into physical form, into a representation within the physical body that is linked to the network of thoughts that we have, whether they're conscious, subconscious, unconscious, blah, 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 or not. It would be the physical manifestation of what happens from the thoughts that we're thinking. And so health and wellness is exactly the same thing. So why does one person get ill? Well, I feel like I don't know the whole answer to this yet, but since I've had a myriad of health challenges, I feel like I can comment about my personal experience and what seems to be the most true so far. It appears to be that the kind of problems that we're physically having directly mirror the kind of mental problems we're having. And when I say problem, I don't really mean that, but for the sake of not addressing all of it all at once, because that would be instant manifestation, then we wouldn't need this whole thing, I'm going to just boil it down into those primary feelings, those primary terms of capturing the feeling that we assume comes with them. And so illness, for example, as I was explaining to Alana today, of lymphoma. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It would be what is the lymph? Well, the lymph is this invisible network and fluid that lubricates all of the other systems of the body in other words, makes it smooth sailing, makes it easy to deliver, allows everything else to work cohesively as those individualized collection of organs or collection of cells or any of that to do its individual job. So it's kind of the God essence of our body, if you will. Quantum physics communicates this idea that this invisible matter that's floating between everything is actually the most powerful force, and it's invisible in nature, but it's more than gravity, it's more than heat and cool, temperature, it's more than all those things. It's the invisible goo. And I love that analogy because since I was young, I always thought God was the glue that's holding everything together. And alas, we're finding that with quantum physics, quantum mechanics. And so if one has lymphoma, it would be like a disowning of all that is actually being manifest and present within you. So what you are demonstrating by creating this illness is something to point you in the direction of the glue holding it all together. So one who's going through that particular manifestation of illness could potentially use that illness, that codified coming together mass collection of rebellion to their advantage by seeing first and foremost that it's pointing exactly at what we have disconnected from, which is the invisible goo that's holding it all together inside our physical body, i.e. God, Source, Spirit, blah, blah, blah. Charlie. I like to call it Charlie. So one who has a tumor would be a very focused set of thoughts that would not be, that feels easy. So it would manifest in a certain particular single clumped sort of way because that's only part of the thoughts of this organism, i.e. you as a body, that's going awry in any one location. So Louise Hay wrote this interesting book, I think it's called You Can Heal Your Body, A to Z, and it lists all the body potential ailments with what its thought derivative is. And then she also suggests different affirmations that you can do. And I love affirmations because it is pointing in the direction of us changing our words, which helps us more readily change our thoughts because the two are interchangeable for most of us at this point. So I like that part. What affirmations I feel are left lacking to this whole concept of what is health is that when one comes into health, it is because they have remembered their connection to the source. They're not just remembering it, they have remembered it enough to the point that they are embodying their full connection, for however short-lived, to that thing that is within all of us and in all of everything, for a duration of time, that once experiencing it, you can never go back. And so when you link enough of that remembering together, then you are living a succulent, happy, blessed, charmed, perfect life. Even when we're not feeling that vibration, we're still living the perfect life, because we are calling into our experience the thing that is going to deliver us to that. So the two cannot be without one another. One would not even acknowledge what health is unless they had felt bad. And so when we call these experiences into our reality, it's two parts as well. One is because we have manifested a certain physical symptom, i.e. piece of data that we can study, collect, measure, etc., for personal study. And that has come as a result of part two being the thoughts that we are thinking to manifest this new question, thusly new solution to, which ultimately, big picture, always comes down to the same thing, but we'll talk about that later, I think. Maybe now, as it appears. So, it's really the source. So, when we go about working on the physical form for healing, we can say these affirmations, but it has to be imbued with the feeling already. Otherwise, it doesn't measure up. It doesn't feel true. We don't believe it. Therefore, create more doubt. Therefore, continue the stream of forgetfulness, negative thinking. It's better to call it forgetfulness, I think. Or lack of awareness, or sleeping. But to be so hard is negative emotion. It is what it is. Call a spade, but it's a little bit more soothing to ourselves to rid ourselves of the guilt and shame of doing this terrible thing to ourselves, like creating disease. So when I come into disharmony in my physical form, initially there is a rebellion to admit that I have created this, because I don't want this. In that state, I would rather be the victim of circumstance than call myself out that I've created this thing. Now, why is that? Well, initially what comes up for me if I believed that I created this thing would be that, why would I do it? And that's a really good indicator of where it's coming from. Why would I do it? Well, I've noticed when I'm sick, people actually listen to me and pay attention to me and value what I have to say and don't question me and honor me and give me permission and release their pressure or stress or expectations on me. So that's really good, because I find out that what I want is release from expectations. I want to be heard. I want to be valued. I want to be seen. And now ask, how do I get that? Well, those people that I look around me and see are valuable and seen and heard and can do whatever they want are those that are living a life that is got magneticism and excitement and wonder and thrill and spontaneity and happiness and joy and manifestation of abundance in all kinds of ways. And so how could they be there? How could they be getting that? Is it because of the things that they have that they're getting there? No, they have the things they have because they were already in that feeling space of belief, of maybe knowing this will happen. Maybe believing that it's always getting better, believing that they are a success regardless of any shortcomings that happen. They see those as temporary and part of the process and moving on. They don't hold on to them and guilt themselves and shame themselves. So for me, when I come into this thing of, oh, I'm sick again, my rebellion arises because if I created this, then it means I have to uncreate this. I have to create something else. And that's where it really points to, I don't know if I can. What if I am a victim of this? And so if I'm a victim of this and I'm just going to die and it's just going to happen to me and it's just going to, I'm going to croak. How do I want to feel if that's what's happening inside me? And again, it points to being bonded with with our core truth, which is that we are a extension in physical form of all that is, ever was, and ever will be, ripening into manifestation in this now moment, and this now moment, and this now moment. And so if I was going to be taking my last breath, I would already want to be in alignment with that and feeling that, so that my transition was graceful, easy, effortless. I was accepting. I was allowing. So either way we go about approaching dis-ease is going to lead back to wanting to feel better, wanting to feel connected, wanting to feel purposeful, wanting to feel the juiciness of succulent life breathing in, through, and around us. So healing would be back-to-back practice thoughts of feeling better. And illness would be back-to-back practice thoughts of feeling worse. And all there is to do in the space between illness and health is to practice better feeling thoughts. Feel what it would be like to have better feelings. And once you're practicing it, you will have that better feeling. You cannot think about a better feeling thing and feel bad. Now, it is true that you could jump too far. So let's say we'll use a very ripe example. Yesterday, as I was telling Alana, I was laying on my bed with my face and my knees smashed into the mattress, butt up and in the air, because it's the only pose where my physical pain would let up a little. And so I find myself groaning in agony and grabbing my stomach and thinking, oh, now I'm supposed to count my blessings, but God, if you would just remove this, source, universe, Holy Spirit, Muhammad, archangels, friends, prayers, lovers, if someone would just remove this from me, I would feel better. That's kind of true, but it would only be temporary. And so I know by this stage that there's the time to do the work, and I try to count my blessings, and there's some rebellion, because I'm like, wow, how desperate am I if I'm counting the blessings in this bent over position where I'm so vulnerable to the world, butt end up in the air, and I am in complete pain. But then I know that's just my procrastination to doing the work, so I catch myself a little further, and like I'm still feeling bad, so it's time to do the work. And I begin saying, thank God I bought t-shirt sheets. Thank the heavens that there's a comforter over me right now, so if some gas flies in the air, my beloved doesn't have to walk into it like a punch in the face. And I'm so grateful that this room that I'm in right now is warm. And I'm feeling so glad that my body intuitively doubled me over in this position where I finally found a pose that's more comfortable. And so that would be counting my blessings to get toward a better feeling. So now I've done a few minutes of this, and suddenly I'm still doubled over, but I'm feeling better. My emotional body is improved. And so where you could say this stuff isn't working anymore is if I was laying in bed, not doubled over, feeling the pain and going, I feel well, I feel happy, I feel light, I am abundance, I am valuable, I release the shame. That's not authentic. That's not real. So start where you are. So let's say I'm in bed, not doubled over, and I'm feeling this pain, and it's terrible, and I'm wondering if it's my last moment. And instead I'm going, wow, I feel the source within me calling my attention so presently to this moment of seeming pain. I can feel my attention being so commanded in this moment to sitting with myself that I am grateful that there's an experience to pull me into alignment before who knows what's going to happen next. That would be more accurate gratitude in that moment. Or, gosh, this hurts so much, but I know nothing's going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. Even if I die, it's not going to last forever. That would be a more accurate way to soothe yourself, ease yourself back into feeling better. Knowing that it's not going to last forever is a great relief to someone who is in great despair. Knowing that this isn't going to last forever may not be the same relief to someone who's in the positive feeling vibration. So, see, it would be a drop of feeling good then. But to someone who's in despair, that's a lift to someone that makes them feel better. And so there's always a way to find a blessing or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 or 100 or as many as you want in any moment. And that little shift to being willing to move into that space will allow possibilities for your overall well-being to start to begin to generate. And once you practice enough of those thoughts of well-being, well, I'm here another day, I'm doing this another day. Maybe it's for some reason. Maybe there's some purpose to all of this. Maybe I just needed to be taken through the ringer before I could climb all the way back up again. And maybe there's something valuable I'm going to find in this experience that could potentially help others build themselves back up. And maybe I needed this very dense experience to allow me to see what a powerful creator I am. And if I created this dis-ease or this illness out of a series of unfocused thoughts about my insecurities and my fear and my shame and about the what ifs it doesn't work out, what if, maybe just what if I thought all of my what ifs. What if this was the best thing that was ever happening to me? What if this was the most potent thing that was happening to me? Maybe this is the best medicine I could possibly be receiving. Maybe this is a miracle happening. Maybe this is an experience that will never allow me to go back to the amount of pain and suffering that I once had. Maybe this is me getting my graduation cap. Maybe this is me filling my purpose even more, finding out more solutions, finding out what really works. Instead of running around fear of cancer, what if I have cancer and what if I'm going through this right now? And what if making it to the other side of this is what the whole point of being alive in this was all about? And I don't want to miss that journey. I want to be here for every step of the way. I want to be here and ask questions like every pain is another professor that I have a brain to pick about what lies ahead and what is important and what is valuable. So as we go through this journey of life school, master's degree edition, and we create our questions that are arising, and we talk our answers out in the raw moment. I really look forward to celebrating the answers that come as a direct result of aligning ourselves with the positive momentum of feeling the juiciness that is arriving in the process itself. And each one of you are my professors, and each one of you are my co-pilots, and each one of you are my co-creators in this epic new chapter of my life. And I am so looking forward to hearing from any of you about anything when you are in the place of hope, or you are in the place of wonder or curiosity or playfulness. And when you're not in those places, and you make a movie anyway, or you subject yourself to creating art in that space anyway, or you keep moving through it anyway, that in itself is a powerful tool and example and modeling to me to keep going even when I'm not at my best, which would inspire me to start in my bed right now. Because the truth and rawness and authenticity of that place, and just being willing to continue the voyage with others, is so powerful. For me, very powerful, because it is the motivating force at the beginning of the shift. And that takes a lot more momentum than if you're already cruising down the driveway en route. And probably because of that is why we make ourselves ill, is because we want to know that we have the force in us to be that twerking grind to spiral up from here. And we are all of that. And all of those that I know that are coming to this life school and meeting place in our own way have already faced epic battles of their own, and know enough by this point that that's the better thing to do in those lesser feeling moments. And I will stand beside and with and through all of life's challenges with you, because we are one, and because it matters, and because your life matters to me, and your purpose matters to me. And it is personally so exciting for me to show up and make seen my own discoveries and my own challenges and my own solutions, even if it is for the most selfish reason of delighting in the story that I am chiseling word by word in my life. And I'm grateful for this experience. I stand in appreciation of the value of human beings who have come together for this project so far. And my highest excitement would be that it expands from here. And Alana, thanks for inspiring this today, and thanks for sharing so intimately the innermost juicy nuggets of your soul so that I can liberate and let my own be seen. It feels so good to be true.